This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview.
And welcome indeed to Stock Box. I'm Debbie Bell Hosking. I'm so sorry that you don't have Mark today, but I do promise you he will be back very soon. And I am joined by Craig Foster of ONDO InsurTech, so we are not going to disappoint today. And it's interesting. Well, first of all, hello, Craig.
Hi, Debbie. Nice to meet you.
Well, great to have you here in the virtual space. And it's very interesting because we were chatting in the green room and you were here at Stockbox only a few weeks ago. And I wrote down a quote because it was particularly interesting. And I think it's a great launch pad for our discussion today. And you said to Mark, the big question is, can we crack the market in the US? So you have an announcement today, and I'm going to hand it over to you, Craig.
Hi, Debbie. Yeah, we put an RNS out this morning to announce that we've signed a new go-to-market partnership with WNS Holdings, and that's designed to accelerate the deployment of LeakBot in North America and worldwide.
The big question has to be, who are WNS Holdings?
So, WNS, they're a NASDAQ Listed business process management company. They've got a $4.5 billion market cap, and their specialism is working with insurance companies. So they basically handle claims on behalf of insurers around the world. They work with some of the biggest insurers, Allianz, Aviva, Zurich, Allstate, and that's their main vertical, and their core business is doing that kind of thing for insurance companies.
So, Craig, for those people who are being introduced to ONDO for the first time, could you go into a little bit of background of what you do and why WNS is such a relevant partner?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, many investors haven't even heard of ONDO. We're a relatively small company today, and we only listed on the market about a year ago. So, our core business is we have a proprietary technology that can prevent water damage claims for household insurers. So it's based on a small sensor. It clips onto a pipe and it can detect a leak anywhere on a plumbing system. And we combine that with a unique service model where we also then send a plumber into the home to find and fix leaks in the property. So this new proposition, why this makes so much sense with WNS, is WNS already handle millions of exactly these water damage claims for insurers every year. So they're uniquely placed to understand that risk and deploy this technology at scale to their insurance partners. So they're a very good fit in that regard.
And talking about technology and being a very good fit, if viewers go back and they search your interview with Mark several weeks ago, they can actually see you demonstrating the technology and how it fits to the pipe. And it's a lovely in-depth look at what you do and why it's so useful to the insurance market. So what would you say? Yeah. Do you want to add to that?
Yeah, I was going to say we explained the proposition and the product in that previous interview. What we'll be doing with WNS is different in one very important regard. So in this go-to-market partnership, we will provide the technology and the in-home servicing, as we always do. And we're going to combine that with WNS, who will deploy their various transformation services, handling claims operations for the carrier. But the proposition is different because WNS are going to guarantee the indemnity saving for the insurance partner, which is really different to what happens today. So normally when we pitch LeakBot to an insurer, we'll explain the results that we've delivered for other partners, but ultimately the risk is on the insurer as to whether they'll get the same claims result. So what they tend to do, Debbie, is they'll start small and they'll test it first, and then they'll go into bigger rollouts. Crucially, what WNS are going to do is offer a guaranteed indemnity saving for the insurer, which is a totally different proposition actually from their point of view. It encourages them to go into much bigger deployments more quickly because there's no risk and they can bank that result at the beginning of the trial. And obviously WNS have got the balance sheet strength to stand by that guarantee on very large deployments.
Would you call this a game changer?
I would absolutely call that a game changer. I don't think there's been anything quite like that in the home insurance industry anywhere in the world. It's certainly a big step forward in terms of insurtech technology propositions for home insurance. And we're really looking forward to getting started and working together on some of the deals that we've got in the pipeline this year.
Well, you're talking about getting started. When do you go to market?
I mean, this is today. So this is the announcement of the go-to-market partnership being live. And we're already talking to WNS about a hit list of partners that we are going to offer this proposition to together.
Well, hit list, that sounds interesting. So how about financially? What does this mean for ONDO? Do you have any numbers for us?
Well, there's no numbers specifically as part of this proposition and the announcement today. But suffice it to say that the scale of the carriers that WNS works with are major insurers around the world. And for a company the size of WNS to be even interested in deploying this, you can imagine the type of scale that they're thinking about. And it's obviously order of magnitudes bigger than what we're doing today.
And of course, ONDO itself is only just over a year old. Am I right?
Yeah, that's right. So we listed on the market in March 2022. So obviously the market timing is quite bad as well, Debbie. So it was a tough year for small caps anyway. So most investors haven't even heard of us as a small cap stock. We're still just really starting to build our profile. We're still a new quantity to many investors at the moment.
New, but incredibly interesting, because not only are we talking about your partnership and the US market, you're not limited to the US market at all, are you? What about Europe?
Yeah, so we've got an existing business in Europe already. So we work with carriers like Admiral and Hiscox in the UK. We work with some of the biggest insurance companies in Scandinavia. Not that long ago, we announced a rollout with Lancia Schaffringar in Sweden, who are the biggest insurance company in that market, 30% market share. They've got 2 million customers. We ran a trial just in one of their regions, and we've now branched out into a rollout across the group. And we're only just getting started at that. So the potential for us as a business, even with the partners that we're already working with our existing model, is huge. But the upside opportunity in the United States is absolutely vast. And for a company of our size and scale, obviously partnering with somebody like WNS gives us a massive amount of leverage in being able to pull something like that off.
Absolutely. And what about target markets? I mean, you're growing all the time. So where are you looking next?
Well, one thing that I mentioned when I spoke to Mark recently is another interesting opportunity is through water companies in the UK. So our core business has been selling our solution to insurance companies, and they provide it to their homeowner insurance customers for free. There's been a regulatory change recently in the UK where Ofwat are mandating much stricter targets on the water companies to drive down household consumption. And we've got really interesting data to show that LeakBot can help water companies deliver on that target. So that's also an interesting avenue that could lead to much bigger deployments than what we've been doing up to now.
And we're talking about partnerships, which sounds very fruitful for ONDO. What about competitors? What sort of competitors do you have out there?
Well, there aren't really any competitors. The reason why this is such an interesting company is we've cracked the code on how to solve this problem for the insurance industry. It's a massive problem. So every year, Debbie, if you just take the US and the UK, there's 14 billion pounds worth of claims paid out on water damage claims every year. And there are some other solutions that have been tried, but they don't really work, is the problem. So there are either small moisture sensors where They're cheap sensors that will detect a leak in a particular place. The problem with those is if you think of the plumbing in your own house, Debbie, where the pipes are, they're in cavity walls, they're in the ceiling, and you can't see them. We've all had nice fancy tiles in our bathroom and plumbing coming out of the wall, and you can't see the pipe work. So if you have a leak on that plumbing, you don't notice it, you can't see it until it's too late and it results in an insurance claim. So those moisture sensors just don't actually deliver any claim saving for the carrier because you can't put them in the right place. There's other competitor products in the US where you actually physically cut the pipe and install something in line. Now, they're more effective at detecting a leak on a mains water system, but they're about $400 or $500 each, and they require a professional install. So you have to send a plumber to the house to fit them. Unlike our solution, that's a small, low-cost sensor, we send it in the post. It takes a couple of minutes to install. We get about an 80% installation rate when we send these to customers. And we combine that with an in-home service to come and actually find and fix the root cause of the problem. And it's a proprietary system. We own 29 patents on that in North America and in Europe. So that's why you don't see any other solution like it being offered to carriers. And the crucial difference there is that it actually has a scalable business model that you can repeat. So to give you an example of the unit economics in the United States, every policy, every underwritten policy in the US has about $200 of underwriting that accounts for the risk of water damage claims. And we can reduce that by about 70%. And this is a system we can deploy for $50 or $60 a year. So almost 100% return on investment. And it's because of that return on investment, going back to WNS, is that they're confident to be able to offer the actual guaranteed return for the carrier to take that element of risk away and encourage much bigger deployments than with our current model.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure with the WNS partnership, they would have been looking into your feedback and your history. So perhaps you can share with us some of the feedback you have had on your product.
Yeah, I mean, you can have a look yourself. If you have a look on Trustpilot, is a good place to look. So we have a close to a 5-star rating on Trustpilot, and you can see there, it's the combination both of the user experience on the actual digital product combined with what I would call good old-fashioned service of someone turning up who knows what they're doing, who's polite, does an excellent job in the home at fixing some of these things. And often our homeowners don't think they've got a leak. It's quite common that because it's hidden, they're a little bit skeptical, and the engineer comes at no cost to them, but they're still thinking, maybe it's a false alarm, I haven't really got a leak. And they're always really surprised and pleased when we show them the leak that they didn't know they had, and we fix it on site for them. So the feedback is very positive for the homeowner as well. And it's also got a great environmental benefit because we save a huge amount of water as a result of what we do. We've actually got the Green Economy mark awarded to us on the stock exchange. So, as an investment, we'll be there's lots of sustainability-based green funds and institutional investors that will be interested in us as a stock once our market cap's higher than it is today.
Well, that is interesting. And of course, we're bringing our interview to a close. But before we do, what would you like to say to investors and potential investors about your partnership with WNS and what the look ahead is?
Well, I would just encourage investors to do their own research and have a look. And if we're a new stock that they haven't heard before, I think once you start digging into it, you realize this is unusual and it's different to the normal mining stocks you see in the small cap part of the market. We're effectively a B2B technology company with a proprietary technology that solves a really huge problem for a massive industry. And the reason our market cap is small today is we're a new company. We're very small, 25 employees, but we've got that amazing IP base and a proven model that we've now replicated with a number of insurers. And now it's just about finding the right ways to scale the business quickly. And understanding this announcement today correctly, you'll realize this is a massive step in that direction.
Wonderful, massive steps. And I look forward to chatting to you again, Craig, and see how where these steps have taken you and how things have developed further. Thank you for joining us.
Nice to meet you, Debbie. Thanks for inviting me on.
Thank you, Craig.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.